Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so today is Relationship Freedom Friday, which happens to be my favorite day of the week. It just is, because I believe that relationships make the world go around. If you are new to me, welcome. If you are not new to me, then welcome back. If you're watching on the replay, welcome. I don't know what this episode is going to entail, other than I know that you'll hear whatever it is that you need to hear to remind you to really support the relationship between you and your soul guidance and those around you. And again, oh my goodness me, do you know what? Facebook is doing stuff that's wonky. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do is the same thing as I did yesterday. I scheduled this out. And this is why we go to the YouTube channel. And then I'm just going to tap all of the places that I want to go live on Facebook. Bear with me for the fingers. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to wait till I get all of the ticks. Okay. Apparently Facebook doesn't realize that I'm actually doing this live and I'm actually stripping out the audio from my YouTube podcast. However, I digress. We're all good. Are we good? We're good. We can see, right? Because if I don't stream out on the different socials, many of you will not see it. Like, you just won't. So anyway, all right. So Relationship Freedom Friday, what I want to talk about is soul family, soul family influence and soul tribe impact. And I just was speaking to someone actually on the dating app, as I keep talking about, Bumble. I met my twin flame on Bumble, just by the way. And he said to me, welcome, let me know where you're watching from. It's Relationship Freedom Friday. Yay. And he said something along the lines of, hope you've had a great day, blah, blah, blah. And actually, hello, my favorite day too. Welcome, Sydney. It really is. And he said to me, oh, I hope you've had a great day and, doing what you're doing. Hopefully all of that went well. And you're having influence. And he said, positive influence. I can feel you radiating. And this is over an app. And he's like, well, maybe I'm talking rubbish about what you do, but like, it sounds like that. And I was like, actually, I call myself a soul guided influencer. So it's not rubbish. And the fact that, somebody can pick up our radiance and our frequency just by us being us, I think that's amazing, right? That's influence, right? So I say soul family influence and soul tribe impact, not to be like, oh, we've got an influence over other people, but whether we intend to have that influence, our vibration has influence regardless. And I was talking about this yesterday, listening to Bob Proctor's Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, where Bob Proctor was being interviewed, Bob Proctor, he was being interviewed, and the guy that was interviewing him was saying, that attitude of gratitude, and imagine us radiating at that frequency. There's something on my nose. Radiating at that frequency and having an influence, basically. So whether we're in soul funk or soul flow, we're going to have an influence anyway on our soul family, the immediate soul family, and the collective. And as a light worker, a service-based business owner, a spiritual entrepreneur, depending on our frequency, we're having an impact, good or not so good, right? So what we do is we say, how do you feel? Every single day I say, how do you feel? How do you feel, Sydney? How do you feel, whether in terms of relationships? So it's not just like, I feel today. What we want to focus on is relationships. So how are your relationships going with your soul family, with your blood family, with the family that you call family, friends? How are your soulmate relationships? How are your twin flame relationships? How is the relationship with you? Relationship with guides, spirit, angels, all that stuff, ascended masters, all the things. How is your relationship with the people that you're here to serve? rate between a 1 and 11. Mine is at an 11. So we rate between 1 and 11. Soul funk is 1, and soul flow is like an 11. And Sydney said, I feel great, hungry, but loving being in my own skin. Ooh, I love that, Sydney. I love that. Oh, that is beautiful. Hungry. I just ate, so I'm like trying to pick stuff out of my teeth. And so I just had a 3-hour call, right, as you do. It was intended to be 3 hours. Sometimes I'll say, let's have a half an hour or 90-minute call, and it'll be 3 hours, Sydney and I. You know that. But yeah, I still feel high vibe. And I was like, let me just eat, because this is going to be however long as well. But I love that. And so my vibration is at an 11. When I think of relationships all in general, I think of the relationship with me. Like you said, the relationship being in your own skin. I mean, come on. That's where you know that you're on that soul path. And because, there's times when we don't necessarily feel like that, right? There's times where we're like doubting ourselves, times where we're like beating ourselves up, times where we're like, who is she anyway? Do you know what I mean? Where we feel lost, we've lost ourselves, we've lost that connection. We're being pushed and pulled, we're trying to people please, all those things. So being in alignment just like that is just wonderful. I love it. So vision board, we'll talk about vision board, the spiritual business vision board challenge. If you haven't done your vision board, get it done and post it in the group. You'll see the links in the show notes and in the cards in the description. And one of the things that we do on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is we focus on spiritual business success, what I call the soul-guided influencers way. And that means manifesting more life-work balance, including our relationships. But when we break down our life and we focus on relationships in terms of on the spiritual business vision board, it becomes more apparent that we need to probably step it up in terms of relationships, and I'll share with you why. So tried all those things take a toll. Yeah, it does take a toll. It's toll on us. So with the Seven Freedoms Frequency, we're talking about living an intentional life, having the vision of freedom for our relationship, the value of freedom for our relationship, and the vibration of freedom for our relationship, and all of these 7 areas, living intentional life. And so I use an acronym just to make it easy for us. And I talk about manifesting that life work balance in these 7 areas. So contribution, health, emotion, environment, relationship, spirituality, and finances. And the reason why I do that is because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to experience, the relationship with myself. And so when we think of legacy in terms of our contribution, we think of relationships, right? So when I say, how do you feel? What I'm talking about in terms of relationships is the vision that you have on your vision board. If you don't do the vision board challenge, you kind of don't know the gap and you don't know how it feels. So I wanted to write a book, right? So Tribe Impact, I wanted to write a book, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so thank you for those who have done a review. And thank you for those who are going to do a review. So I wanted to have that impact and that influence, right? So I had that on my vision board. So if I'm not working towards it or I'm not doing anything about it, I'm going to feel like rubbish, right? Or if I'm not reaching out and I'm not doing any videos or I'm not doing any of that, I'm not contributing. And my contribution is about relationship building. We might say, yeah, we've got soul clients. Yeah, we've got a movement inside of us when we're not actually doing anything. We're not actually having a conversation. We're not actually going about doing our spiritual business, sharing our gifts in the world. So when we think of relationships and contribution, how is that working out for you? So I said on Monday, when I talked about Contribution Freedom Monday, this is what I'm going to do this week. And so far, that is what I've been doing. I'm inviting new relationships. I'm, reaching out to different people. I'm following up with different people. I'm having client calls. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm scheduling calls. I'm going out and thinking about getting featured and doing all those things. So your vision board is so important as the North Star, the guiding marker for the relationships of how you want to launch your day, lead your day, leave your day as a light worker, spiritual business owner, as a spiritual entrepreneur. You're not really a light worker if you're not doing your light work in the world. I'm just saying. So when we look at last Friday to this Friday, what have you done? Right? How have you launched your day, led your day, and left your day? Excuse me, in terms of relationships, merging them with your soul tribe, that soul tribe influence. And what are the 1 to 3 things that you can now do that you're like, oh, actually, before when I was serving in a certain type of way, I was doing this, this, and this, and now I've dropped off doing it. So this is a practical YouTube podcast to hold you accountable for the relationships that you say that you want to have in your world and in your life, right? Let me know where you're watching from. So if that is like, oh, Iona, you always talk about this on Friday, because it's who you be, who you're becoming. The version of you on your vision board is not just going to happen overnight. It's that little step and living in alignment with your values and moving forward and moving forward and moving forward every single day. How in alignment do you feel? So when we think of relationship and health freedom, living intentionally, the relationship with you comes to mind. Like, how is your health? Well, if you feel rubbish about yourself and you're beating yourself up and you're talking down to yourself and you're not really taking care of yourself and you're not feeding yourself the way that you should do, more nutrition, or not getting the sleep, or not drinking water, or you're not, that's not having the best relationship with you. And in turn, if you don't have the best relationship with you, I've heard over this last week, I can't serve from an empty cup. So we think of the relationship with you, emotional freedom. When we think of emotional freedom and relationship freedom, moving up and down the emotional scale, other people might be triggering the heck out of you. Relationships tend to trigger us. The relationship tends to soothe us. Have you got relationships around you that make you feel, that light up your soul? I have. I love it. And I'm able to turn to certain people. So my daughter, I have to tell this story, right? I said, you do know this is content. Anybody that talks to me, I'm like, it's a point of conversation today. So she said to me, today, I laughed so much, it hurt. So Sydney said, I definitely had to back into journaling after meditation. I had to get back into journaling after meditation. Awesome. Love that. And the journaling is evidence of what is going on inside of here, that relationship, right? Because the relationships that we have outside is depending on what we're saying, all relationships, right? So the relationship with my daughter, she said to me, she said, let me leave that up because I'll probably come back to it. She said, Mom, so I don't, well, you may or may not have seen. So on my Facebook profile, I posted, it was 3 years ago, and I've posted since then, but it was 3 years ago this particular post came up, like the reminders. Let me know where you're watching from. And it was my relationship with money. It was my credit score, right? And if you guys don't know, I was bankrupt, I was homeless, I was all the most things, right? And I built up my credit score when I purchased a home with my ex-husband. I didn't have a credit. I didn't know what a credit score was. So therefore it was bad because I hadn't, my mum and my sister had taught me, like, listen, don't even bother getting credit for anything. And my mum always said, if you cut your garment according to your cloth or whatever that was. So I was like, I didn't get credit. So therefore I didn't build up a credit rating. So anyway, so by the time we'd got the house and the house was going into foreclosure because our relationship freedom had broken down, I was like, oh, ouch. So I'd spent years, this was 11 years ago now. 12th of January. What is it? 12th of January. 12th of January, 11 years ago now, right? So I'd gone bankrupt. And I spent years building up my credit rating. I was like, how am I going to do this? Blah, 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 blah. And so I shared it on my Facebook, and it's like, so proud of myself because it's like, yes, when the barn conversion comes round, we're going to be good. when I had the kids, when I was had those relationships, fostering 3 children under 5, like you do for family, my washing machine broke down, and I was like, oh, well, let me put this credit rating to the test. Got my washing machine, blah blah blah. Got different things, and it went down. I was like, what? Now your girl checked it after watching that post, and I left my home. My daughter had said that hers had gone down. I was like, well, that's a bit weird. It had gone like to the minus, and she's like, well, that's weird. It was just really weird. Hers was 800 and something, and mine had gone down to half. And I was like, oh my goodness. And she said to me, this was the funny part, and she's like, oh my God, really, Mum? I said, do you know, dude, the years that I'd built this up, you know, when you're supporting family and you support them at the expense of yourself, yeah, that was that. So now I'm gonna have to tell this story on my masterclass. And I was saying to my daughter, oh, dude, that's like all kinds of wrong. I said, but I didn't cry though. This is what I was saying to her today. I didn't cry. She was on her break from work. And she said, Mum, if somebody would have told me, that this would have happened a year ago to my mum, I would have said that she will shave her head. I was like, what? Why would you say that? She's like, I really would have said you'd have shaved your head. She said, so if you feel like shaving your head, just call me first. I was just, my whole body, I was absolutely in fits of laughter. And I said, you know, this is content, right? And I said, why would you think that? She went, well, she said, she screamed when she saw her credit rating. And I said, because I was teaching her financial literacy, right? And she said, she screamed and she said, well, I might shave my head still. Just absolutely. I said, babe, I'm good. Like, the relationship that you have with emotionally, I just laughed. I was like, no, I'm good. I didn't actually cry. I didn't actually feel like crying. It's okay. And I come from the place of financial freedom. So I said to her, it's funny because, like, as I do this whole journaling thing, I'm like, well, no, because I want to switch my outgoings and my financial freedom and the relationship that I have with money. My vision is to pay every single bill annually. Right. And I said, no, it's like absolute financial freedom from this point. Like I said, you know, I'm good. And she's like, I can't believe it, Mum. The relationship that we have with our emotions, and to the point where you want to be like shaving your head, is like, no, you don't want to be in that space, right? To check in with the relationship that you have around you, whether they're helping you to spiral down or helping you go up to your vision. It just makes me laugh. Environmental freedom, we gave up the house, right? And so it's like, oh, because we didn't change all of our address and stuff. And she says, Mum, I think that's why. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So the relationship that I have, so when we think about the relationship, so we've gone to environmental freedom. Who are you around, and are they building you up? Are you in environments that make you light up your soul? And I was not. And I was like, okay, that environment's just going to go. I actually want to travel. When we think of the relationships, do you have relationships around you that support you? Now, I've just got a message from my soul sister, Robin, talking about a relationship. I was sharing with Robin today that I had a soulmate relationship. Excuse me. And this dude, I've known him over the year, like 3 years, coming in and out, in and out, in and out. He keeps coming back. And I was like, dude, that is it. Do not message me. I'm good. We're done. Messaged me in New Year's. Didn't think. Then super liked me on Tinder today and said, and so this was really key on my journey for relationships. Who I choose to be with and who I want to become in a relationship, that's not the one. And so I said, why are you super liking me? Like, stop. And so he said lots of things. And the gaslighting thing that he said was, you say that you want to love somebody and laugh with them. Apparently I'm not lovable in your eyes, but you're super liking me. It's like, who said that? And I was like, because I've known you 3 years, you're saying that you want to laugh and he's hilarious and wants to find somebody hilarious. I'm like, you are false advertising on that dating site. You're not hilarious at all. You're grumpy. He says, well, only when I've got things on my mind. I said, which is quite often that influence and that impact when you don't manage your own emotions and you don't actually, not self-aware, you impact other people. But we've got to discern whether we're going to be around those people or not. Because I'm like, I absolutely, that's not the one for me. So he said, well, no, you just love your work too much. And I said, you know what? People are inspired by my work. And I had the relationship where now the guy that I was with for 7.5 years, he's like, I should have supported you more in your work. I realized blah, blah, blah. And I could then get into another situation, which I'm not going to, where somebody says, you love your work too much, you this, you that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, because you didn't get attention to me, but I came to yours to work. And he said, yeah, but at that specific time, I said, be specific. Other people's words can hurt you and break you down if you are not self-aware that they are in a space that's not conducive with your vision. For me, being in my next relationship is about having what I call the 7 C's, the foundations, the consciousness, the compatibility, the communication, the connection, the commitment, the chemistry, all those things. We do not have all of those things. So I'm like, you're just salty. And so he's like, well, I hate it that it's like, and now you've got a level of jealousy. I'm not interested. It's like, block, delete, done. And that's what Robin was saying. Yeah, good, block him. I don't like doing that, but I'm like, actually, because I've got such a good relationship with me and I know where I am at, and I said, I will always love my work and I will always do my work. And actually, other people are inspired. Like I had somebody who doesn't, I said to him, what do you, he's like, well, I'll always have feelings for you. Well, that's great and fine and dandy, because love is the connection. Love is energy, right? It's not about loving someone or being in love with someone. And I said, what is it? This was before, what is it that you love about me? And it's like, well, you're warm and something else and something else. It was like about 3 things. It's like after 3 years, and then somebody else is saying to me, oh, this about you, this about you, this about you. Just be mindful of the relationships that you're getting in and the relationship with you. If your relationship with you is strong, then you can't be swayed. And I definitely believe as light workers, as spiritual entrepreneurs and service-based business owners, who we get into a relationship with impacts our light work greatly. Imagine me getting into a relationship where somebody's telling me, you're not spending enough time with me, you're not doing this, you're not doing it. Like, forget it. Like, absolutely no, thank you. When we put your relationship couple it with spirituality, there are things that are going to happen in your life where you're like, okay, well, this feels like the spiritual path. I know he's a soulmate connection. I know that. Or that karmic, whatever it is, I know that, but it's not my life partner. Like somebody was saying to me, I think it was Lucy that was on the live before. It's like, well, twin flames and this and blah, blah, blah. And like, we've got to be with them and blah, blah. And no, if it's not something that is in the tangible, physical, let that be for another lifetime, whatever it is. For me, the 7 C's, I'm like, if it's not ticking these 7 C's in an emotional way that I'm discerning before getting all caught up into someone, I'm like, I'm not doing it. And so again, going on the dating app and stuff, I'm like, okay, this commitment's not there. I'm speaking to someone, commitment. It's like, yeah, actually, well, you've been talking to me for days. You know, on my profile, it says dating for marriage. Well, not in those words, but it's dating for marriage. I've been thinking about it, and I could do all those things. I can climb mountains with you. I can do blah, 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 but it's just that marriage. I've been married before, and you're not, either something's got to shift or it's just not, I want that commitment, you know? So when I'm thinking about relationships and I'm thinking about coupling it with that connection, you're guided to people that you will get what you need and leave the rest. when I think about relationships and finances, how do you feel about your finances? So again, I laughed. I was like, oh, wow, with the credit score. It takes a little bit of time to build that back up. And I will, and it's fine. But I was like, oh my God, now I'm going to have to tell this story. How do you feel in terms of receiving financial freedom? And the people around me are manifesting, and I want to stand for a prosperity consciousness rather than a poverty consciousness. And when you do the seven freedoms, you're going to stand for and be at a vibrational frequency where it's a prosperity consciousness. And that, having the relationship with prosperity rather than poverty, feels amazing. So we've done the vision board, how you think, how you feel, what kind of actions, like really bringing relationships into all of the seven freedoms. It's massive. It's massive. And I'm looking back, and what I've shared is like me looking back at the week and seeing, okay, well, this relationship, that relationship, making a choice, saying absolutely yes or an absolute no. It's important. What I invite you to do is say yes to the things that are going to support you on your vision and no to the things that are not. And again, if you haven't done the vision board challenge, my spiritual business vision board challenge, you'll see the link in the show notes and the cards. Come into the group and let me know. So Sydney said, I definitely had to get back to journaling after meditation. I'm not somebody who meditates. And I'm kind of like, when I say it, but I'm just not. And I'm good with it because I think the place where people want to get through the meditation, I'm already there the majority of the time. And they say, you know, having that guidance and tuning into that. And because I do this practice every single day, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. That energy and that channeling and that flow. And me trying to quiet my mind and sit actually blocks that flow. It feels a bit weird. So I love that you after the meditation you're journaling, and so this is my video journal. All right, so I pulled a card for today, which is whoa, it is Kali Ma, facing fear. Now, if you know anything about vibration, then you'll know that fear is a lower vibrational frequency, and when we have fear around a relationship, so I was talking to someone and they were saying, I've got a fear around marriage as a fear. It scares me. It scares me. You're not going to do those things and embrace them as a really great thing if you've got fear. Yes, I've had relationship breakdowns. Yes, I've had blah, 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 blah. I've had spiritual awakenings like you wouldn't believe, but I don't have a fear around it. I've healed it. So facing fear, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So this is your chance to soar as well. I'm going to read it. So Kali Ma is a Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. She brings all cycles to an end so we can experience transformation. She is a strong, fierce, and fiery, powerful image of the divine feminine. Many have been intimidated by her. She is the mother energy and therefore completely loving. Do you love that? That's pure beautiful. She is a fierce mother protecting her child from harm. She's like a fierce mother protecting her child from harm. She has a dark energy and a light energy. She has a dark energy like night sky, but it consumes fear and only leaves love. She is a twin flame of God Shiva and has even been known to slay his ego so that he can reveal his true loving self. Do you resonate with that? Is there fear going on for you? Is there fear going on for you around relationships or the relationship with yourself? Extended message. This is a time when you are able to look fear in the eye and move away from it. Fear is just energy, and energy can be changed. We always say that, don't we? We know that we're energy, blah, blah, blah. Everything is energy. So, you know, when we go, oh, I'm scared of it, or I've got resistance around it, that energy can be changed. Okay. I'm reading. This can be an intense experience because the human self is so conditioned that it may be used to operating with fear present when you just don't know how to operate out of fear. When fear's gone, it may feel as though an emptiness is there. Notice that. This is a space for love and miracles to enter. You are being filled with courage of spirit now so that you can move from this phase of your life to the next phase. Trust the process, calling Kalima to help you release the fear and step into a space that's strong, focused, and courageous. I love that. That's pretty beautiful, right? All right, let's do gratitude. If you're feeling any kind of way, like what's been going on for you in terms of relationships, in terms of, we're on a Friday, the 5th day of the week. And we've been talking on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast about contributing and your health and emotions and environment. Now it's relationships, right? And so when we look back at the week, you might look back at something in the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future that is yet to manifest. And when we think about our vision board, again, I say this every single day, in order for it to manifest, before it manifests, I talk about the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. In order for that prosperity to manifest, you've got to feel it, which you kind of look like a crazy person to people that are in your life, maybe, but they might not be aware of the universal laws. They might not be aware of emitting a certain vibrational frequency, and that attracts them. Just because they don't know doesn't mean to say it's not true. And just because they don't know doesn't mean to say that you want to then ignore what you do know, right? So we're doing the gratitude and in expressing that and being vibrating at a higher frequency. I call this soul speaking into existence. And this is part of my journaling process in the Soul Legacy Journal. So we're going to do the gratitude, and then we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. I think this is going to be a shorter one today. I'm probably going to lose my voice because I'm on a 3-hour client call, as you do. Amazing call. So let's express gratitude again, something from the past, present, or predicted future. We want to bring all of the 7 freedoms in. So again, all of those areas, and I use the acronym Cheers to Financial Freedom Frequency. And what the intention is to raise our vibrational frequency, rise and reside at your vibrational frequency. So you have the relationship and the dance with the universe, and have that trust in the universe, have that trust in yourself, and build a muscle that way. And it feels really, really great. It feels, yeah, I love it. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate. So when you think of in terms of contribution, over this last week, how have you contributed? Whether it's something in the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate my contribution on my call today. It was absolutely epic, absolutely epic. Things just flow. You know, when people are just easy to work with, just easy. All of you guys are just amazing. The people that I've worked with, I will say that I'm happy and grateful for everybody that I've ever worked with in the past since 2008, 2009. Let me know where you're watching from. Because without working with them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now in the way that I'm doing it. So I'm really happy and grateful that I've been able to contribute in the past, in the present, and in the predicted future to more and more and more people. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm able to just sit in the space, be me, and stuff just comes out. Stuff just comes out. And I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health-wise the food that I have to eat. Actually, so I thought that my call was earlier than what it was today. And I went to, instead of like making myself something to eat, I went to what we call the fish and chip shop in the UK. Probably you call it fish and chip shop everywhere, but I didn't get fish, but I got chips. I need to turn that insanity alarm off. And I was like, I'm just going to get these because I thought that. And I was like, oh, but it's Friday. I had chips, and I'm going to have some wine later. So health freedom wise, I feel really good. I feel on point. I'm working out. I'm sleeping better. I'm eating more. I'm drinking. Just feels amazing. And then intentionally eating, not feeling bad. Like, I eat healthy, I'd say right about now, well, probably 80-90% of the time, probably 80% of the time. And I'm good with that. I love it. And I love it. Happy and grateful and appreciate, I would say, my mental health, actually. Happy and grateful and appreciate emotional freedom. The fact that I'm just so high vibe after the year that my daughter had been in, and then she rang me again later. I love it. I love having the close connection with my little lady. She's amazing. She lights me up. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the environment. Zoom's lit. Zoom's amazing. I was able to stream out from Zoom into YouTube and record, which is pretty cool. I never used to do that. I'd rely on recording and clogging up my Mac, or clogging up Zoom and having to upgrade my subscription. And now it's like, okay, well, I can just record onto my YouTube channel, which is pretty cool. So those environments I love. Thank you. Happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. Happy and grateful and appreciate, which relationship do I appreciate most right now? Happy and grateful and appreciate my dating relationships. Speaking to someone and having that help me heal and going on dates. You guys on Facebook have seen me post like first date. When I get to the second date, you guys were like, yeah, okay, cool. But having somebody be really honest and open and caring and all the things, even on a dating app, because I know that you guys are like, hate dating apps, they suck, they're blah, blah, blah. There's like literally hundreds of people probably in my Tinder. And I'm like, yeah, you're not the one. But on the Bumble, it's different. It has a different energy. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate this spiritual food. Are you actually? Oh, I need a plant-based one. Just having ice cream. Happy and grateful and appreciate that. So, yeah, that relationship with my niece. She's funny. She kind of just pulls faces. I'm in her dining room right now. Happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual freedom, soul-to-soul connections. I love it. Just having people in my life that light up my soul, like being guided, is just beautiful. Happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. What has come out. Just getting paid in general. Just getting paid. It's lovely. It's amazing. Like being on the journey of bagging 50K. Oh, the barn conversion. Girl, I'm telling you, the barn conversion, my barn conversion, speaking to somebody that says on the dating app again, saying, because that's what I want. I want that relationship, my husband sharing the barn, right? So I'm going to want to live in a barn. Him going, yeah, I want to do one or buy one. I'm like, whether that's the person or not. Apparently, the marriage scaring him. He's not. It has the potential to be. He's given himself an ultimatum, which I think is funny. But just even talking about it and having that financial freedom, got to up my credit rating, right? But having the financial freedom to be able to say, yeah, you know, I'm saving and I'm putting towards the barn conversion and being able to pay my expenses a year in advance, like every single expense, like switching everything over. That for me feels like having the financial freedom to do that. I'm like, yes, why would we not? So that's gratitude. What I want to say is, let's do the bank 50k in 50 days and let me hop off here because it's Friday night and I'm going to go have a glass of wine. All right. And do you know why? Because I was talking about wine today. The Soul Legacy Journal, I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host at the Soul Legacy TV, creator of the Soul Legacy Journal, the Soul Legacy Movement, Legacy, Soul, everything has soul in it. And I call this 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. So, and I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. We're alchemizing, go through our spiritual awakening, use our spiritual ascension tools, pop out our spiritual alchemy. This is what we do. So this is mine. Journaling and doing the bank 50 days challenge. I'm telling you, if you do this with me for 50 days, you're going to feel different. You're going to feel different. You're going to feel different about money. It's going to feel like flowy. No worry about it. No panic about it. No, the universe always supports you. And I know you guys say the universe supports you, but like in abundance, like literally 50k. If other people can do it, you can do it too. All right. So the Soul Legacy single day, spend it. The challenge is the bank 50k in 50 days challenge is to spend it, not to do it once in a while. It is to spend it, have that relationship with money. So spend it. And if you don't spend it every single day, come and spend it with me on Sundays. There's rules to the game. It is a game. Have fun with it, right? The relationship with money. So we spend it on whatever it is, £1,000, dollars or euros. You tie 10% to a worthy cause, which my worthy cause is Compassionate Friends. It's a charity for bereaved parents because I am one. I dedicate my work to my son. And even that's on my vision board, Compassionate Friends and Kinship Foster Caring. I emailed them was it today and yesterday? Yesterday. And was like, let me fulfill the role for being a compassionate friend and setting up a group in April, and I've got a soul sister to do that with, and it's like, okay, it's the year to actually get all of the things in place and done the way that I want to do them. And so I want to donate and continue to donate. So when you think of a worthy cause, how can you give your money and your time and your energy to something that's really worthy? A lot of people say, oh, charities, they don't receive all of the money, blah, 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 blah. Do your own then, just saying. So what would you tithe your money to? 10%. And then come from the space that all your bills are paid, your savings are done, and all of your bills are paid. What would you spend that vibrational money voucher on? Share it in the group, a spiritual business vision board group. Share your vision board first, and then the things that you spent on your vision board, do it in your journal, and enjoy. Just enjoy it. Just love it. This is not about me. It's not about anyone else. It's about the relationship that you have with money and the relationship that you have with your level of contribution. Because if you have any fear, any resistance around your level of contribution, off again. Eek. If you have any resistance, then you're not going to make the money in your business the way that you want. You just energetically, you're going to repel it. It's not me. It's just the way that the universe laws work. That's why I developed it, right? So do that. And then we're doing it in the vibrational world. Come to my masterclass. So the masterclass I talk about for spiritual YouTubers. So spiritual YouTubers. And so my book is called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influence compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. If you've bought this on Amazon, thank you. If you've left a review on Amazon, thank you. This is me leveraging my light work and lifestyle inside here. So you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. You can get it on Kindle and you can get it on paperback. I will probably do a hardback and I will do an Audible version. Inside the book is a 5-day challenge, right? And it's I call it a 5-day fast track movement marketing model. And the reason why I call it that is because I support you in building the framework, speaking to, serving, and signing up your high paying soul clients, building a framework, a business model that you love, that creates passive income streams around your book. You go out there, you get featured around your book, you create courses, you create leverage, you work in groups, group coaching, group healing, group whatever it is. So that Bank 50K in 50 days becomes real, like intangible. It's so cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. So come to the masterclass. It happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time again. Links in the show notes, in the description. Come to the masterclass. Thank you for all of those who have registered for it. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a couple of slides to sort out on my presentation, namely the one that says my credit rating. I have to actually be honest of where that is now. Just making decisions and healing it. And so I went on a journey. Hey, let me know where you were watching from. I went on a journey of doing that when I was bankrupt, and I was like, oops. I was devastated. I was like, what? And now I've got to go back on that journey again so I can share it, and it won't take long at all to repair it and heal it. But, you know, when we have things on our vision board, it's going to take a level of version of us. Setting those intentions is fine. Doing the moon intentions, doing the blah, blah, blah. But actually being practical in your life and taking those soul-guided actions, it is actually going to take you a level of stepping up and a level of being aware of what's going on in your life and balancing it. I think it's amazing. We've got a monthly networking call. I would love for you to come on it. If you want to connect and co-create and collaborate and cross-promote, I talk about it all on the masterclass. I talk about the book on the masterclass. I talk about everything on the masterclass. Come to the masterclass. I would love to have you on there. Please share this out. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Because why would you not? It's Relationship Freedom Friday today. Spiritual Freedom Saturday. The week just, you know, when the week goes by really quickly. Yeah, that's it. So share your gifts, shine your light, because you were born to serve. Here's showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Big, 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 mwah, big love. Take care. I shall see you for Spiritual Freedom Saturday.